when we smoke anything, especially cigarettes or electronic smoking devices, there's always a chance of cancer.
Bienvenidos a La Aventura de la Salud, un podcast donde exploraremos juntos los caminos hacia una vida plena y vibrante.
Hi, good morning, everyone. Today I will be discussing the harms of tobacco use, tobacco products such as electronic smoking devices and cigarettes, the effects of them, as well as the reasons why people begin to smoke, specifically youth, and how the tobacco industry targets youth. And lastly, we'll cover a little bit about healthy alternatives instead of smoking. So first, we'll begin with what is tobacco, right? What's the difference between a cigarette and an electronic smoking device? Well, there's a lot of similarities between them. One of the similarities is that they both contain nicotine. Nicotine is a highly addictive chemical. Another similarity is that they both produce formaldehyde. I don't know if you guys know what formaldehyde is, but it is found in laboratories. It's used to preserve species, and it's not a nice chemical. It's smelly. I don't like it. So imagine breathing that into your lungs. It's not good. Another difference is that with smoking cigarettes, you're actually inhaling smoke. Okay, and then with electronic smoking devices, you're inhaling not a vapor, it's called aerosol. So it's a combination of solid particles and vapor or liquid particles. It's not healthy. It's not good for you. And in electronic smoking devices, they carry a lot of heavy metals like tin. They're not good for you. So let's talk a little bit about why. Why do people smoke? So a lot of the misconceptions and comments that I've heard about why people start to smoke is stress. A lot of students say that they're so stressed, and I understand there's a lot of things to be stressed about. Some of the things that can cause stress are family problems, relationships, school. School is really stressful. It's understandable, but picking up these habits is not good, and research has shown that using tobacco products actually doesn't decrease stress, but actually makes it worse, and it can worsen depression and anxiety. So that's just something to keep in mind. So technically, it does not help with stress. So let's move on to what happens when we smoke. So when we smoke anything, especially cigarettes or electronic smoking devices, there's always a chance of cancer. You can develop cancer, so lung disease, heart disease. Those are two of the most common things that can happen. Mentally, as we were mentioning, it can actually worsen depression and anxiety. So how is it that people are still smoking, right? So what's going on, right? So it's not good for us. It actually makes it worse, and there's a lot of health effects. Well, as we mentioned, stress, misconceptions, lack of education, and most importantly, the tobacco industry has a lot of tactics and ways to target youth. Some of the tactics that I've seen for specifically youth have been colorful packaging. They're actually creating electronic smoking devices to look like cartoon characters. So there's electronic smoking devices that look like SpongeBob. And I actually had a youth tell me that they picked that up at the swap meet. They were walking around and they picked it up and they're like, "What is this?" Well, it's not a toy. It was a vape. So those are some of the ways that they are targeting youth, and flavors, huge. Although there is a flavor ban, retailers are going around this. They're still selling these products. If you go into a retailer store, you'll still see flavored electronic cigarettes or flavored cigarrillos, unfortunately. So what can students do instead of smoking to relieve stress? Well, for me, I love painting. I love art. Or yoga, exercise, join a club. There's lots of healthy alternatives instead of smoking. And if you or a loved one are currently smoking or suffering from this, there's lots of great resources. One of the resources that we always give to people is Kick It California. They have great quick coaches. You can text them, you can call them, and they'll get you connected to good resources.
Gracias por acompañarnos en esta aventura de la salud. Recuerda, tu bienestar es tu mayor tesoro. Cuídalo y disfrútalo. No olvides visitar nuestras redes sociales para más consejos e inspiración. Suscríbete para escuchar los nuevos episodios. Hasta la próxima aventura.